Well, here we are again, on to the finishing parts. I'm back at it with the hay manger here that I'd been putting off for over a week. It was a neat piece and it was original to the barn, so I wanted to reinstate it even if it was maybe a little bit too big for the ponies. So I lowered it a little and brought it forward a little and made it a little bit more acceptable for a pony like Willie. Now the stanchions needed a lot of sanding, and that's not exactly my forte. I can't stand sanding, so here we go. This is my master class on random orbital sanders. Not how to use a sander, and how to use a sander. And now you can't say I never taught you nothing. Put the stanchions back, and they're probably spaced out a little bit much for a pony like Willie, but they'll be okay. And like I said, it was just a cool piece that was original to the barn that I wanted to reinstate. Sometimes it seems the more I clean this barn, the dirtier it gets. Now it would appear I was evicting some spiders from their generational homes, but I told them they didn't have to leave, they just couldn't stay in the windows anymore. After a little breaky poo, I get to work doing the finishing touch on the stalls here, which is a little poo-poo kick plate. The ponies have a tendency of playing a little game of kick-a-poo by the time we get out there in the morning, and I don't want them kicking little turds into hard-to-reach places where I won't be able to clean them. Speaking of cleaning, would you look at that, I've got the broom again. I've got some mats here to lay down, but I wanted to level out a couple of sections of unfinished floor first. And then the horse hauler called. He told us some bad news and we wouldn't be getting the ponies for another week. It's a situation that's beyond anyone's control, and besides, it gave me a little bit of time to do something that I'd been wanting to do just for me. In my very limited spare time, I've been working on a little pathway up through the back and into the woods here. And I thought it might be neat if I had a couple of little posts with some lights on them to help you make your way in the darkness. So I dug a quick little hole and dropped a couple of 4x4 cutoffs in it. Keeping with the nautical theme, it being Lindbergh County at all, I thought that I'd wrap the post in some rope. There's that handle lashing coming in handy again. I found a little solar light in the junk pile and threw that on there. I was so chuffed with my results that I thought I'd do a couple more. And then with the creative juices flowing, I thought I'd turn my hand to something else, and I built this. It's both garbage and a bench. I call it the Gar-Bench. That another day was done, but another one just like it was coming up behind the first one just as quick as the first one came in the first place. The order of the day was sorting and stacking an old pile of firewood that had been there before we bought the place. A lot of it had gone punky, so sorting through it was critical, and it took a lot of the day. After the first bit was done, I was able to demo the little cradle that it was in, and it became firewood itself, I guess. There it is all stacked up, and it looks a lot better, and the yard looks way more open now. The next day was exciting. I'd saved the best for last. I wanted to build some overhead rigging right about there that would accept a block and tackle, so it was into the artifact drawer of stuff I'd found in the barn, and I grabbed these two pulleys here. The sheaves were still free and everything. I grabbed some lumber and I hogged out a channel so that I could stick them both together. With each passing video, it seems my butt creeps out of my pants a little more, but to be fair, I had my belts stolen in Fredericton, and this one's a loaner. I had the framing done and I was ready to stick the rigging up on the barn wall. I used a cheap little IKEA hammer to hammer flat some nails, and then I installed my backing plate, a little bracket that I made to accept the front part of the little rig I made there. The lags held really good, and I was surprised how strong it felt. The should make hauling those hay bales pretty easy. I sorted out the line and the pulleys, and the plan here was to achieve 2-to-1 mechanical advantage, and it actually looks like I got it here. The neat thing is that I can add another block and go 4-to-1 with a quick clip of the other block. In another week or so here I'll check back in, and hopefully I've got some ponies to show you, but I guess sometimes that's just the way she goes. Well, in the meantime, don't stress yourself out, and if you are stressed out, find an animal to pet for a while, and if you don't own one, then go borrow one.